Woodlock. He makes a reappearance. He missed the Limerick game with the virus. They're going to come into an area in midfield, Jamesy, that Limerick really destroyed Tipperary in, and these two are going to be asked to dominate now tonight.
Absolutely. I mean, James Ryan from Limerick, had a phenomenal game, hit a huge amount of balls, so Eamon has rung the changes there. Now, incidentally, arguably Tipperary's best midfielder is Brendan Maher, but there is a speculation that Conor O'Mahony may have an injury at number 6, so Brendan Maher may be forced to move in there. But it's certainly an area that Tip need to get a bigger return from this evening.
Now, Tipperary.
Plenty of options in attack. I mean, Joe is obviously an option at the edge of the square. Jason Flynn, very, very exciting young player. He's a guy who can drift in, as I said, on the edge of the square as well. So plenty of options for Anthony Cunningham in attack. But these guys, Conor Cooney, Jason Flynn, were the only two players to score from play in Tullamore last Saturday night. That won't get the job done this evening.
Now, we spoke about the big match temperament of Joe Canning already. Can you tell us some of
the sound of silence around Semple Stadium is deafening as Callanan drills that high and confidently over the gone roaming for Tip, and here he is right on cue to take that short pass just inside his own 45-metre line. Goes long, well taken by Fergal Moore, back to his best in the Galway full back line, cleared long by Irla Tanyan. Glynn so strong in the air, lovely layoff, chance for Galway, the shot, Jason Flynn with a brilliant goal. His second of the championship, rude one from Galway. Glynn to Flynn, brilliant goal.
Yeah, and worked very, very well against Kilkenny a couple of weeks ago. So here's Jonathan Glynn, he's a great hand, great catch, out to Flynn and buried in the net. And Flynn was impressive in both.
Callanan with that measured, thoughtful approach. A fierce scrap for possession. Column Lyons lets them play away a little longer. Man who tried to dig it out there for Tip was James Woodlock. Away comes Canning. Lovely skill in full flight. What about that from Joe Canning? Lovely to watch, beautifully taken.
He's the dummy, but James Barry is standing off Joe Canning, and if you take the lessons from Kilkenny over the 2 days, they didn't allow Joe Canning to face the second day, and they clearly come out on top.
Superb catch by Bonner Maher, got up above Dahi Burke. Maher making an angle for himself. An inspirational score from the centre forward. He will do that all day long. Catch and run. Nobody able to stay with him. It's back to a one-point game.
Yeah, this time off the Hurley and straight over. Bonner Maher is a hugely important player for Tipperary forward line.
And the Tip crowd now getting behind their side as Canning rides the shoulder. He's in the mood, he's in the groove. Another for Canning.
Yeah, he shipped a heavy knock as well just before he hit it over the bar. Well, that's his third shot at goal.
Just strolling out towards that left-hand side. Quick change of direction to try and lose his man. He has options inside. Might fall yet for Jason Flynn. Desperate defending by Cathal Barrett. And back to help goes Mickey Cahill. A galvanising clearance from Cahill. Gets it away out of his own half. Picked up neatly by Garage Ryan. Looking for somebody in space. Lar Corbett yet to get on the ball. Ran for that one. Callanan has it. He's gone low. Callanan! Back at the net. Goal for Tip.
Yeah, great turn by Seamus Callanan. Let's see when the ball comes into him. Might be a question that Lar fouled in front of him, but when the ball came to Callanan, beautiful turn. It went off his hand out over the sideline, but he's actually switched to full forward now.
Good take by John O'Dwyer. Waits for the support. It's Noel McGrath. Shortens the grip and fires it over the job and has been left on the freeze for championship. This is his first difficult one. Quarter of an hour, Nicky.
Yeah, and very, very close. Both teams very, very closely matched as we expected.
Maher with the little layoff to Noel McGrath, who's gone roaming and picks off his point at his leisure. That's his second. He goes where he's needed. Very stylish. Tip ahead by 2 again. Ball breaks kindly for Galway, and in particular for Cathal Mannion with the snapshot, and that's gone over the bar. He read it brilliantly and finished with a plum.
Yeah, scores are coming thick and fast here, and Cathal Mannion came on as a sub the last day and retained his place, and an easy score for him, and good to get a score like that here, just settle you down.
Forwards, by the way, have now scored from play. Much improved on their efforts last weekend. Now Tipperary trying to isolate Seamus Callanan. Ronan Burke stalking his every move. Callanan trying to take him on for pace. Went around him, and Seamus Callanan. That's a goal and 3 points for Callanan. 3 frees to go with that well-taken goal.
And that's what Galway will want. They'll want this man in the game.
Setting himself up for another shot at goal. What a score.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Angle was a little bit better, but I mean, it's just unbelievable skill, and that's why that man takes on those line balls.
Here in Thurles, perfect conditions for championship hurling, and Galway and Tip going at it, hammer and tongs. John O'Dwyer coming across in front of David Collins and popping it over the bar. That's his first point. O'Dwyer, who's been live.
Very evenly matched.
Again, the stadium falls silent as Conor Cooney steps up to this. He is Galway's leading marksman this season, and it's easy to see why. That's his second of the night, just keeps that scoreboard moving. It's a 1-point game again.
Yeah, neither of the frees that he hit have been that easy. As I said earlier on.
Galway just mixing things up again in their forward line. David Burke on the edge of the square. Cathal Mannion gone to the corner, and this man, Jonathan Glynn, out in the half-forward line. Here's Canning, unmarked. He's got so much space, and he punishes Tip off his left-hand side. It's his 4th point of the night. The sides are level for the first time, thanks to Joe Canning.
Yeah, that's the key issue for Eamon O'Shea.
He fell very heavily on his shoulder. Tip with an extra man. Corbett, where has he been in the first 25 minutes? Lays it back to O'Dwyer, and John O'Dwyer picks off his point. So Conor Cooney standing over this free again. This to tie the match up for the second time. He's just on the 65-metre line, and his free taking has been flawless. Bent his back and came away with the ball. This is Paddy Maher. Man coming off his shoulder is the midfielder James Woodlock. Woodlock fires it long and high and over the bar. Simple and effective from Tip. First score of the match for the midfielder from Drummond-Inch, and that's enough to nudge Tip back in front again.
Yeah, good play by Paddy Maher and a good layoff to James Woodlock.
The scores coming thick and fast at either end in the first half an hour. Things very finely balanced as Tanyan drops this in, and it's in the net. Goal for Galway, a second of the night, and David Burke may have got the final touch. Gleeson rooted to the spot. Galway with a second goal.
Yeah, it looked to me like it was David Burke that got the touch. We'll see it here. It's coming in, and yeah, David Burke definitely gets the touch. The Tipperary defenders are really waiting for James Barry with the hand. They should have been attacking it, and keeper has no chance, but that's a big score.
The man who pulls the strings. Again, he's looking for John O'Dwyer. Closest Galway player to him is Johnny Cohen. O'Dwyer from a very tight angle. The umpire likes the look of it. Superb score. O'Dwyer's 3rd of the night. His confidence is high, and again, he did that brilliantly.
Yeah, he certainly has been the best player for Tipperary and the most dangerous attack.
Maher tussling for it on the ground with Jonathan Glynn. Galway hungrier for that breaking ball. Gobbled up, smashed in, and that's gone high and over the bar. Pádraig Breheny, the midfielder from Tina Abbey-Donaire, with his 1st of the night. Galway 2 up once more.
Yeah, Pádraig Breheny is, I think he's an excellent fielder. He's a great prospect. But before that, Pádraig Maher was bringing out the ball, and he got no support from any of the other Tipperary defenders, and 3 Galway players took him on.
Ronan Burke there lost his hurl. Callanan keeps his composure and is cool and slots it over the bar. Again, he used his pace to lose the fullback, and that's not now a goal and 4 for Callanan. To Seamus Callanan, making his 25th championship appearance tonight. He has been down this road before, and Callanan ties the sides up for the 3rd. Changes for you as soon as we get them. Ronan Maher, the debutant in this match tonight, is the player who seems to have made way for Tip as we watch Conor Cooney. Galway shooting into the Callanan end goal for the second half, into the slight breeze. And man on the ball for Tip is Lar Corbett, involved in 2 scores before the break, perhaps a third. John O'Dwyer shoots, and that's another score for the Tip wing forward from Killinall. He has demanded the ball all evening, wants to get involved. He's got his eye in, and it's level again.
Yeah.
He's unable to get it away. Conor Cooney, just one man to aim at in that Galway full forward line, and Glynn has it. Great hand. What a goal from Jonathan Glynn. Unstoppable from the big full forward from Ardrahan. A bullet. Galway 3 in front.
Yeah, he's a great hand, Johnny Glynn, and he's caught a couple of great balls, but when this one came into him, really, Pádraig Maher was in front, and you know, he should have been behind and attacked the ball great, but when Glynn caught it, gave no chance whatsoever to Darren Gleeson. That's a great start to the second half for Galway.
Well, we wondered which Galway would turn up this evening. Would they be licking their wounds after that defeat to Kilkenny last weekend, or would they be up for this, fighting for their lives in the championship tonight? And Jonathan Glynn, with that brilliant goal, gives us our answer once more.
Yeah, and you know, as happened when they got their goals in the first half, you know, Tip come back and get a free at the other side. So, you know, Larry Corbett, he's not been on the ball enough from getting resting control here.
Once again tonight, Tip being asked the hard questions. Callanan gets the score just to give them a foothold again. League final against Kilkenny, and the Munster semi-final 5 weeks ago against Limerick. It has not been a happy hunting ground. Noel McGrath from just inside his own half. That is something else from McGrath.
Yeah, it's a crucial period in the game, Mike, and you know, a good response really from Tipperary to the goal. You know, the winning the free, and that's a great score from Noel McGrath off his left, and you know, I can see it bringing in on the breeze.
A third point of the match for Noel McGrath. He's having one of those nights. Here's Woodlock now, the bit between his teeth. Looked for the short pass, nothing obvious on.
Just that ball had to be in his hand, and then he was in a great place for a score.
Irla Tanyan knocking it in towards his clubmate from Ardrahan, Jonathan Glynn. Dealt with by the Tip defence. Bergen, nice little stick pass to get it away towards Noel McGrath. Again, the first touch not what it needed to be, and Tanyan in to win it back. Hops it down the line to Cathal Mannion. Thought about taking Paddy Stapleton on the outside, instead turns onto his left. Mannion backs himself. Good decision. Second point of the game for the corner forward from Ahaskar Afahana. And once more, a little bit of daylight.
Yeah, it's a beautiful score by Cathal.
Overpowered as Tip turned defence into attack, but Dahi Burke, solid as a rock again at centre-back, wins that aerial duel. Here's Canning, just sauntered out onto that ball, drops it in. Glynn once more is under it, and he has it again. Glynn! He's done it again. The 6'4" full forward with his second goal of the second half. Route 1 hurling for Galway, working just fine.
Yeah, here it comes in again, wrestles with Pádraig Maher. Superb catch, and when he's the ball caught, really he's clearly favoured then to score. Watch, Pádraig Maher gets in front. Pádraig Maher really needs to be behind him, not sell himself on just trying to catch or in the challenge, to be there to actually stand up Johnny Glynn. But he's sold in the challenge, and you know, when Glynn then catches it, which he does, he's favoured to score, and Tip have made a change straight away. James Barry has gone back full back to try and limit Johnny Glynn, but Johnny Glynn is on fire here.
Well, in the first 10 minutes of this second half, Galway have now outscored Tip 2-2 to 3 points. And Jonathan Glynn, their big full forward, doing so much damage. Anthony Cunningham, by the way, has just pitched in Aidan Hart as we watch Garrow O'Brien. Tip needs something, anything, just to stem the tide. That's now 9 wides.
Yeah, and Garrow O'Brien, another bad wide. You know, he's on his back foot. No need to shoot there. They just recycle the ball, keep it in play. And Tip are going to need goals here now.
Still 24 minutes of normal time to go. Tip have as much time as they need, but they have to get back into this game. James Barry takes no chances and gets it away. That's a wonderful catch in the air by Johnny Cohen, but I think he's been penalised for pushing. In fact,
I think it might be on Gerard Ryan here. I think Colin Nice is not happy the way Gerard Ryan played the ball, but I didn't see that much in it. But it's a great catch by Johnny Cohen, and the Galway half-back line, Cohen and Dahi Burke, they've caught the last number of balls, and you'll see it here again. Johnny Cohen on the right. There was a pull by Gerard Ryan, but I think he was trying to play the ball at the same time in his defence.
So a yellow card for the Tip number 10. Great catch by Cohen. And out comes Joe Canning. Again, there's an almost reverential silence as Canning steps up to this. Into the wind. Doesn't carry, and gathered back there by Mickey Cahill. Once more, though, it's an aimless clearance out over the sideline on the far side, and Galway will get to keep the pressure on.
Yeah, and Tip are not making it easy for themselves there now. Mickey Cahill had ample time. He was under no great pressure, and
Cahill Mannion knocking it down along the stand side here for Davy Glennon to run onto, trying to twist and turn away from Stapleton. Glennon has hit that beautifully. It's curling just inside the far post. Wonderful score from Davy Glennon, the man from Mulla, with his first score.
yeah, beautiful score. You know, he danced around Paddy Stapleton. Very good use of the ball by Galway up the field, and fully deserving of the 6-point lead. Playing good hurling now.
That's 3 points in a row for Galway. Tip haven't scored for almost 10 minutes. Callanan, a busy man in the last few minutes in the Galway goal. Mopping ball up, cleared away by Irla Tanyan, who seemed to just injure himself as he cleared that ball. Mickey Cahill returned with interest. Callanan trying to position himself underneath it. Callanan with the flick. Just wide. It should be close. In fact, going back over the last 14 years, there's never been more than 3 points between them when they've met in championship, and John O'Dwyer from distance with his 5th point ensures the gaps. First man to react to the break is Kieran Bergen. Here's Woodlock. Thought about the shot, instead lays it off to the playmaker McGrath. Callanan grabs it from around his bootlaces, sells the dummy to Burke. Good save by Callanan. The full forward in again, and this time he makes no mistake.
That's great work by Seamus Callanan. You know, first of all, he won the ball. He's all the time capable of taking on Ronan Burke. See, jinx past him. I was wondering whether he should take a point. Good save by Callanan, but it comes back to him, and you know, second time, great. Here's his jinx, takes him on. Ronan Burke is under pressure all the time with him, but to finish the second time, when it comes back out to him, one touch and in off the left, and Tipperary needed that goal, but the route to
the bargain, we are in for some last quarter of an hour.
Yeah, certainly. Tipperary have responded well, and they're using the ball a bit better.
Again, he has gone to ground just as he got that ball away. It's the second time in the last few minutes he's pulled up, and perhaps starting to feel the pinch as Noel McGrath shoots from distance, pumps the air. He knew from the moment it left his hurl, he knew it's his 3rd point of the match, and the sides are level for the 5th time at Semple Stadium.
Yeah, great point by Noel McGrath on the run. You know, he's extreme.
Knocked down by Callanan initially. A race on between Fergal Moore and Garrod Ryan. It breaks to Lar Corbett. Corbett, his first shot at goal, and he's nailed it. Corbett, the hometown hero in Thurles, puts Tipperary back in front with 11 minutes to go.
Yeah, that's it's a big score for Tip. They've taken the lead, and you know, that's the player they'll want on the ball to score it, and a huge reaction from the crowd. But previously, I think it's a pretty soft free. Bonamar did well to get back and try and win the ball, but I suppose Eamon can hardly complain with the frees in the second half. They got a couple of soft ones himself.
No score for Galway now for 11 minutes. Joe Canning steps up, and just when they needed him most, Canning guides it over the bar.
Yeah, Joe is the man they have to have on the ball. You know, he hasn't touched the ball. It's only his 3rd time in the second half touching the ball, and he's getting his Very far from too far from a Galway perspective.
Loose clearance by Dahi Burke, gobbled up by Corbett, under the stand, he's gone for it. That's outrageous from Corbett. 2 points in the last 3-4 minutes from Corbett. Super score.
Yeah.
So Callanan, very much the man of the moment in this match tonight. Takes his time. Galway conjure up another goal, their 5th of the match, to drag themselves back into this as Tip go for broke from distance. Unbelievable. From inside his own half, Tip are 3 in front.
Hard to imagine it about 10 minutes ago, but what a striker the ball is, Noel McGrath. Well inside his own half, and a beautiful
On the sideline. It sounds probably oversimplistic, Nicky, but they have to get Canning on the ball.
Yeah, they have. Well, they need a lot now at this stage, because Tip have completely taken over.
Corbett to Bergen, and the impact sub Kieran Bergen from Killinall pushes Tip into a 4-point lead. Are they out of reach? Can they keep Galway at arm's length in these final?
Jonathan Glynn for Galway, or Seamie Callanan for Tipperary, and I think Callanan really has had the greater impact. So for me, Seamie Callanan is the man of the match.
So the Tip full forward, Seamus Callanan, is Nicky's selection for our central man of the match, but it's not over here yet. Tip sitting on a 4-point cushion, but you couldn't say sitting comfortably. Callanan into intercept. Can he finish it? Yes, he can. Right on cue. Seamus Callanan with his 3rd goal. A hat-trick for the full forward for Drummond.
It certainly will restart their season, and they'll be dangerous opponents for anyone in the next round of the qualifier.
A high five from Eamon O'Shea, the Tip manager, for Lar Corbett as he made his way off the field. Tip putting on a show in this last quarter of the match for their loyal and long-suffering supporters. They've turned out in big numbers, and they're enjoying this. Great score from distance by Shane McGrath. It's all coming together now down the home straight. Galway out on their feet, nothing left.
Yeah, and you can see the reaction of Eamon O'Shea. He's delighted. The word was they worked very, very hard in Thurles in the last 4 or 5 weeks since the defeat by Limerick, and you can see it's paying off. And I'm sure at the other side of it, he was a very, very worried man with 15 minutes, 20 minutes to go.
1 point for Galway in the last.
Another great score. And Tipperary just did the right thing more often than Galway. They made some great moves, and in situations like that, they fed the ball to the man in the better position, and he punished Galway.
Yeah, well, one of the inspirational men this evening was our man of the match, Seamus Callanan. Let's hear what he has to say now.
Seamus Callanan, man of the match. How delighted are you with that performance?
Oh, sure, look, it's great. I suppose everyone played so well today, like no such thing in the individual performance. I'm just glad to be able to pick this up and part of the Tip team, and let's drive on from here.
It looked dodgy at one stage in the second half.